Imagine waking up on a Tuesday in July. The kids are out of school, the sun is out, and instead of being chained to your desk, you're fully present. What if you could add $10,000 a month to your business and still enjoy your summer? I've helped hundreds of six-figure business owners do exactly that. People like Hans, who said, and I love this, our sales have doubled and I'm able to spend more time with my family and I'm really excited about our prospects going forward. That's what a real halftime reset makes possible. In this video, I'm going to show you how to implement your own halftime reset. We'll review your first half, reset your targets, and build a winning game plan for 2026. This video is for you if you're running a six-figure business and you're the one holding everything together. You're at the halfway point of your year and you've got two things on your mind. You want to grow your business and you want to enjoy your summer. Not one or the other, both. Without the right game plan, those two things feel like they're pulling against each other. This video is going to show you how to make them work together. So, let's go. Here's what we're going to cover. First, why halftime is the most important time of your business year. Not January 1st, not your annual planning retreat, right now. And I'm going to show you why business owners who pause here are the ones who finish strong, regardless of whether they're currently ahead or behind. Second, what championship businesses actually do differently at halftime. It's not what most people think, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. And third, the three specific things you need to do right now to hit your numbers, grow your business, and still enjoy your summer. Because you built this business to have more freedom. Stick with me all the way through step 3, because I'm going to show you the one tool my clients use to make sure their game plan actually survives summer. It's the piece nobody talks about, and it's the reason some business owners finish strong while others fade. That's coming up. Last week, I watched one of the most remarkable halftime adjustments I've seen in years. The New York Knicks were down 27 points at halftime in the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs. 27 points. They were down 29 in the third period. By any measure, that game was over, except it wasn't. Here's what the Knicks did at halftime. They didn't sit in the locker room panicking about how far behind they were. They didn't try to figure out how to erase 27 points in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. They asked one question: what do we need to do to chip away at this lead, stay in the game, and put ourselves in a position to win at the end? That's it. Chip away, play their game, stay in it. And that's exactly what they did. Slowly, possession by possession, they cut the lead. And when it mattered most, at the end, they were right there. And they won. Now, here's the other side of the story. The Spurs had a 27-point lead at halftime. What should they have done? They should have come out in the second half and said, we're up big. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep playing fast. We're going to keep playing loose. And they should have said, we know we won't keep this margin. That's fine. When the Knicks make a run, we're going to keep our foot on the gas, and we're going to win this game. That's the halftime focus a championship team makes when they're ahead. Instead, the Spurs tried to protect the lead. They played tight. They played not to lose. And that 27-point lead, one of the biggest leads in NBA playoff history, evaporated. And they lost in the final seconds. Two teams, same halftime, completely different adjustments, completely different outcomes. And right now, at the midpoint of 2026, you're sitting in that locker room. Whether your business is up by 27 or down by 27, what you do in the next few weeks determines how your year ends. So here's what happens if you don't make the adjustment. You sleepwalk through Q3, and in December, maybe over the holidays, maybe when you're staring at your year-end numbers, you wonder why the year didn't come together the way you planned. And here's the thing. It plays out two different ways depending on where you are right now. If you're behind in the first half, you do what most small business owners do. You grind harder. You push more. You work longer hours on the same business growth strategy that already isn't working. No adjustment, no momentum shift. You hit Q4 desperate, maybe discounting your services just to close deals. You're burnout, running on empty, and you never make that run you need to make. Just like a team that walks back into the court at halftime, does nothing different, and loses by 30. And if you're ahead in the first half, you're the Spurs. You get comfortable. You start protecting the lead instead of building it. You stop doing the things that made the first half work, and slowly, quietly, your lead evaporates. A strong first half becomes a mediocre year, and you spend December trying to figure out what went wrong when everything was going so well in June. In both cases, the cost is exactly the same. Another summer sacrifice to your business with nothing to show for it. The growth that was in your reach stays out of reach. The team challenges, the thin margins, the time problems that showed up in the first half, they don't fix themselves. They carry straight into the second half, getting even heavier. And you end 2026 in the same place, just more tired. Here's what I need you to understand. This moment, right now, mid-year, before Q3 starts, this is where the year gets decided. This is where business owners who scale their business separate from business owners who stall. Not in January, not at your next planning retreat, right here. Miss this window, and you're waiting to reset next year. That's 6 months of drifting you can't get back. But here's what happens when you do make the halftime adjustment. You walk into Q3 with something most small business owners don't have: clarity. A clear, adjusted game plan that's built around where you actually are right now, not where you hope to be back in January, where you actually are. And that plan is designed to do two things at the same time: grow your business revenue and protect your time. Because here's what I really want you to hear. You don't have to choose between a great summer and a great business. That's a false choice. That's the story exhausted business owners tell themselves when they don't have a plan. When you have the right game plan, one that's built for the second half, not recycled from January, you can have both. You stop grinding on autopilot. You stop reacting to whatever's loudest, and you start leading your business with intention. You go from being inside the business, putting out fires every day, to being above it, making smart decisions, moving the right levers, and actually growing what you've built. You've become the driver of your business, not the engine. Whether you're behind right now or ahead, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you leave here knowing exactly what to focus on for the next 90 days. And just as importantly, what to let go of. Because the game plan for the second half isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things. The business owners who do this, they finish strong. Not lucky strong, not grinded out strong, intentionally strong, on their terms. And that's exactly what we're building today. By the time this video is done, you're going to walk away knowing exactly what to do in the next 90 days to grow your business, protect your summer, and set yourself up to finish 2026 as the best year you've ever had. So let's get into it. Step one is review the first half of the year. You can't adjust what you haven't assessed. So here's step one. And I want you to actually do this. Don't just watch this video and nod along. Before you can build a winning game plan for the second half, you need to know what actually happened in the first half. Not what you hope was going to happen, not the story you've been telling yourself, what actually happened. Championship teams don't walk into the locker room at halftime and wing it. The coaching staff has been tracking every possession, every defensive breakdown, every missed assignment. They know what happened. That's why their adjustments work. You can't fix what you haven't faced. So, look at three things. First, your goals. Go back to January. What did you set out to achieve this year? Revenue targets, business growth goals, whatever you committed to at the start of 2020. Now, look at where you actually are. Are you ahead? Are you behind? Are you on track? No judgment. This is just data. This is your scoreboard. You need to know the score before you can adjust your game plan. Second, look at your projects. What did you set out to build, launch, or complete in the first half of the year? A new offer, a marketing system, a team process, a new hire. Look at each one honestly. Some of them are done, great, but some of them are sitting half finished, and they're taking up mental bandwidth every single day, even though you're not actually working on them. For each unfinished project, make a decision. Does this move forward into the second half? Does it go on the back burner? Or does it need to be cut entirely? One of the most powerful things you can do at halftime is eliminate the projects that no longer deserve a spot on your roster. And third, look at your wins and your lessons. What worked in the first half? What drove revenue? What brought in great clients and created momentum? Write those down. because that's what you're going to double down on in the second half. And what didn't work? Don't call them failures. Call them what they are, learning moments. Every challenge in the first half is just data that tells you exactly where to adjust in half number 2. So here's the application. Block time and do this review. Just those 3 things. Goals, projects, wins, and lessons. Write them down. Don't do it in your head. The act of writing it down forces clarity that thinking about it never will. When the Knicks were down 27 at halftime, they didn't guess what was going wrong. They knew they'd been playing the game. The review wasn't the hard part, though. The honesty was. And that's all I'm asking from you. Be honest about the first half of your year, because that honesty is what makes your second half game plan actually work. Now, if you just did that review and you're sitting with some uncomfortable truths about your first half, good. That's the work. That's exactly what you need for step 2, because step 2 is where we take everything you just looked at and turn it into a decision, not a hope, not a plan to make a plan, a real decision about where you're going and how you're going to get there while actually enjoying your summer. So let's get into it. Step 2, reset your goals and targets for the second half. Don't drift into the second half, decide. Step 2 is the one that separates business owners who finish strong from the ones who look up in September and wonder where the summer went and why the numbers didn't move, or worse, went down. After you've done your halftime review, you have 2 things you need to reset: your target and your time. Let's start with your target. Look at your year-end goal. Based on everything you just reviewed, where are you? What's working and what isn't? Is that goal still the right one? Maybe you're behind and it needs to be adjusted. Maybe you're ahead and it's time to raise the bar. And maybe you're exactly on track and you just need to recommit. Doesn't matter which one it is. What matters is you make a conscious decision, not a passive one. You're not carrying the same goal forward out of habit or guilt. You're choosing it or changing it with clear eyes and real data behind you. That's what recommitment looks like. And that's what a reset means. Now, here's the part most business owners skip entirely. Reset your time. Summer is coming. And here's what I see happen every single year with small business owners. They drift into summer, half on, half off, feeling guilty about both. They're at the pool, but they're checking their email. They're at their desk, but they're distracted, wishing they were at the pool. They're not present in their business and they're not present in their life. They get the worst of both worlds. That ends right now. Here's what I want you to do instead. Decide when you're off. Actually put it in the calendar. The vacation, the long weekends, the days you're not available. Commit to them the same way you'd commit to a client meeting, because when you know exactly when you're off, you can be fully on when you're working. No guilt, no drift, just intention. This is how you enjoy your summer and grow your business. Not by doing less, not by doing more, but by deciding. Now, here's where it all comes together. Once you know your recommitted year-end target and you know how much time you actually have available in Q3 because you've been honest about your summer and what you want to do, now you can set your 90-day mission. One mission, one primary focus. The thing that, if you get it done between now and October 1st, moves the needle toward your year-end goal given the time you actually have. Not 10 priorities, one mission. And here's the test for whether you've got this right. You should feel 2 things at the same time: inspired and realistic. If it doesn't excite you, it's not the right mission. And if it doesn't fit the time you've actually allowed, it's not the right plan. It's a wish. The Knicks didn't try to erase a 27-point deficit in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. They set a mission: chip away, play their game, put themselves in a position to win at the end. Inspiring and realistic, executed with intention. That's exactly what your Q3 mission needs to look like. Here's the application. 3 decisions. 1, recommit to or reset your year-end target. 2, open your calendar and block your summer. Decide when you're off and protect it. And 3, based on your target and your available time, define your 1 90-day mission for Q3. Write it down, make it inspiring, make it realistic, make it yours. And by the way, if you're watching this and thinking, I want to do this, but I don't want to do it alone. I hear you. On June 23rd, I'm hosting a free workshop for a small group of business owners called Reset, where we do all of this together. We'll cover everything in this video, and you'll walk out with your actual game plan built. A plan that lets you grow your business and enjoy your summer. The link is in the description if you want to grab a spot. But first, let's get on to step 3, because this is the one that ties it all together. All right, you've got your mission, you've got your target, you've blocked your summer. Now, here's where most small business owners stop, and here's why that's a mistake. A mission without a game plan is just a goal, and goals without execution systems don't survive. Step 3 is where we build the systems that make sure you achieve your mission, even when the clients need things, even when the team needs things, and even when the lake is calling. This is the part I want you to pay close attention to, because what I'm about to show you is the difference between a plan that lives in a notebook and a game plan you actually play from every single week. Step 3 is to design a winning game plan for the rest of the year. A game plan isn't something you file away. It's something you play from every single day. All right, step 3. You've done your review, you've reset your target, and you've defined your 90-day mission. Now it's time to build the game plan that actually gets you there. And I want to be really clear about something before we dive in. This is not a business plan. Nobody executes a business plan. Business plans live in binders and Google Docs and die there quietly while you keep doing what you were already doing. What I'm talking about is a game plan, something you actually play from, something that tells you every single week exactly what game you're playing and how you're going to win. Here's how it works. 3 tools, each one builds on the last. Tool number 1, your one-page game plan. This is your overview, your 30,000-foot view. At the top, your long-term vision. The answer to this question: if we met 3 to 5 years from now, what would have to happen for you to feel genuinely proud of your results? That stays visible always, because when summer gets busy and distractions multiply, you need something that pulls you back to why any of this matters. Below that is your year-end target. Where do you need to be by December to stay on track for that vision? Then, your 90-day missions. What you committed to in step 2, written in a language that actually excites you when you read it, because you're going to read it every single week. And finally, the next steps. This week, 1 page, 4 quadrants, total clarity on your business growth strategy for the second half. Tool number 2, the mission map. This is your weekly execution tracker, and it's where most owner-operators fall apart. Not because they don't have goals, but because they have no system for tracking progress and making real-time adjustments. The mission map tracks 3 things every week: your objective, your progress, and your adjustment. Every week, you look at what you set out to do, honestly assess where you are, and make the adjustment if needed. Small corrections made weekly compound into massive results by the end of October. Big corrections never made. That's how strong first halves become disappointing years. And here's the details that make this work for summer specifically. The mission map is built on a 6-week sprint cycle, not a 90-day set it and forget it plan. 6 weeks of focused execution. Then week 7 is built in as a review, reset, and refresh. You're not going to grind for 90 straight days. You're sprinting, assessing, adjusting. That's how you stay sharp, and that's how you stay present in your business and in your summer. Tool 3 is the mission protection plan. This is one of my favorites, and it's the one most people don't have. Here's the truth about game plans. Every mission meets resistance. Every single one. Clients cancel, team members underperform, life gets in the way. Summer especially has a way of pulling your focus in directions that you didn't plan for. Most business owners hit that friction and either abandon the mission entirely or grind through it without adjusting. Both are losing moves. The mission protection plan does something different. Each week, you identify 3 things: the objective you're working toward, the friction you're facing or anticipating, and your counter move, your planned response to the resistance before it derails you. Progress belongs to those who adjust, not abandon. That line is actually on the mission protection plan document itself because it's that important. You're not going to execute a perfect 90-day plan. Nobody does. What separates the business owners who scale is that they anticipated the resistance and they had a counter move ready. Just imagine if the Spurs had used this mission protection plan. This is the tool that makes your game plan survive the summer. That's what I promised you at the start of this video, and there it is. Now, here's how the time freedom piece connects to all of this. Your summer is already blocked on your calendar. You know when you're off. You build this game plan around that reality, not the fantasy version where you have unlimited time and unlimited focus. The real version. There's a law called Parkinson's Law, and Parkinson's Law tells us that work expands to fill the time available for it. Most business owners have experienced this without ever knowing it had a name. When you constrain your available time by committing to real time off and then build a focused, realistic game plan around what's left, something shifts. You stop filling your days with low-value busy work. You get sharper. You make faster decisions. You stop confusing being busy with making progress. That's how you free up 10 hours a week. And that's how you enjoy your summer and still grow your business. Now, if you have a team, there's one more step. Before Q3 starts, get everyone in the same locker room. Your team needs to see the mission, their objectives, their focus, their priorities for the next 90 days need to serve your overall game plan, not their own version of what they think the business needs. A team pulling in slightly different directions is one of the quietest and most expensive problems in small business. And halftime is the time to fix it. So set aside 30 minutes before July 1st. Get the team together. Same whiteboard, same mission, same game plan. Okay, here's the application for step 3. After you've reset your target, build your one-page game plan. Fill in your long-term vision, your year-end target, and your next 90-day mission, and your next steps for next week. Then build your mission map. Map out your first 6-week sprint. Then, and don't skip this one, build your mission protection plan. Identify the friction you know is coming this summer and write your counter moves now before you need them. And if you have a team, schedule the alignment meeting before July 1st. Then every Monday morning, open up the game plan, look at the mission, update the map, check the protection plan, and let it tell you how to win the week. That's halftime. That's the adjustment. That's the difference between a business owner who finishes 2026 strong on their terms and one who looks up in December wondering where the year went. Let's put this into practice. You're at halftime and you know exactly what to do with it. Review your first half, reset your targets, build a winning game plan that grows your business and gives you your summer back. Not one or the other, both. Now, has this been useful? If you're ready to go deeper, and you don't want to do this alone, on June 23rd, I'm hosting a free workshop called Reset. It's a small group of 6-figure business owners who are serious about finishing 2026 strong. We're going to do everything we covered in this video together, and you're going to walk out with your halftime review done, your targets reset, and your second half game plan built. A real plan that adds revenue and lets you enjoy your summer. The link to get more information and to register is in the description below. And if you want to see what it'd be like to work with me and then learn exactly how I help 6-figure business owners grow to 7 figures and beyond without burning out through driving growth, leading boldly, and systemizing to scale, check out the $1 Million Plus Framework video. I go deep on exactly how to do this in your business with the specific steps and the case studies to show you how other business owners just like you have done it. That link is in the description below too. I'll see you in one of those places. Hey, maybe even both. Let's finish 2026 strong.